Taking the teaching challenge today, one of Britain's shy and retiring household names.
I feel extremely nervous, and this morning I've already interviewed the Leader of the Opposition face to face, and I don't know which encounter terrifies me more, whether it was with the Leader of the Opposition or whether it's a class of 9 and 10-year-olds, and I think it's the 9 and 10-year-olds.
Vanessa Feltz, journalist, columnist and presenter, has never exactly been backwards at coming forwards with her opinions. But today, after presenting her daily show on local radio, Vanessa will be addressing the pupils of St Edward's Primary School in Lisson Grove.
It occurs to me that I feel as if I could teach. But of course, I've had the tremendous luxury of never being seen to put it into practice, so I'm aware that I could crash and burn. I hear there are all kinds of newfangled teaching techniques which I neither understand nor could possibly hope to muster. So I'm going to attempt to teach the class in the same way that I was taught when I was at school, which may be a fatal error.
So, Class 13, this afternoon...
Vanessa will be teaching the Year 6 class of June Wooldridge, and the subject, relationships, as part of personal, social and health education.
And today she's going to be doing some PSHE work with you. So what kind of work do you think she might be doing with you? What do you think she might be doing? Llewellyn?
Physical.
Not quite. Ollie?
Danger, hazards and signs.
OK, yeah, could be. Well, you have to wait until she comes in to see what she's actually going to teach you. I'm not going to give it away. But I'm sure you're going to be very good students and work really hard, am I right?
Yes, Miss Wooldridge.
Arriving at the school with one intriguing teaching aid, a cushion, Vanessa heads upstairs to be briefed by Miss Wooldridge.
Have you got a lesson plan sorted for the lesson?
What I'm thinking of is I'm thinking we're going to talk about relationships because I know you've been doing bullying. I thought we'd divide them up into tables. I thought we'd do name people that you have a relationship with. Then I thought we'd do name all the positive things you're meant to think about relationships with them, all the love and everything that people think you're meant to feel. And
they may get giggly on you because the whole relationship thing and love thing, they're at that
age.
But
if it's sisters and brothers and mothers and fathers.
That's it. Just keep it like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes being in Year 6.
Keep it neutral.
Yes.
And then what do you... OK, this is what you're meant to feel. Right, what do you really feel? I thought we'd do that.
Will Vanessa have the same effect on Year 6 as her teachers had on her?
I come from the old school where you sat still, preferably with your arms folded, and listened. It didn't matter whether the teacher was interesting or not, or whether you cared less or not. And if you moved or blinked or anything like that, they'd say, "Can I hear a pin drop?" They'd go like this, and you'd all listen. And you'd be even stiller and more quiet for the rest of the lesson. I don't know what happened to me, because by the time I got to secondary school, I'd been transformed into Vanessa the undresser.
Hello.
As the moment of teaching truth arrives, June Wooldridge takes up position next door to monitor Vanessa's performance.
We've got stuff, loads of stuff.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Miss.
It is lovely to see you. You can call me Vanessa, everybody does. I'm glad to be here today. I understand you've been doing some work on bullying. Is that right? Yes. That means you know a little bit about what relationships are really like. Because what I was thinking of doing today, and I don't know what you feel about this, is I feel like talking to you, not as if you're children, but as if you're grown-ups. So I feel like telling you the honest truth rather than talking to you the way that grown-ups normally talk to children. Who thinks that's a good idea? Show a hand if you think it's a good idea.
She actually seems really confident. She's very enthusiastic, which works really well with that class.
So the first thing I need to establish is, do you know what relationships are? What is a relationship? So let me start with this table over here. If I ask you on this table over here, who do you, Jason, who do you have a relationship with in this world? Your mum. Absolutely. OK. Now, what about you, Reese? Who do you have a relationship with?
My dad.
Your dad. OK. Jamie? Dogs. Now, anybody watching Big Brother? Yeah. And who is Ziggy missing more than anyone else on earth? Dog. Why do you think, who has an idea, a theory about how it can be that with all these human beings, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, uncles, cousins, how can anybody miss their dog more than anyone else on earth? And this could be the key to everything I'm talking about today.
She's talking quite quickly, but so do I, so they probably respond to that quite well.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to split you into tables because you're already split into tables. And on each table, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to work out role play. So if you divide into pairs, so you are two people in a relationship. You can be a mum and dad, you can be a child and a mum, you can be a brother and a sister, you can be two next door neighbours, two school friends, whatever you want to be. And first of all, I want you to do, Gosh, we're so perfect. Oh, we're perfect, we're ideal, we love each other, we're supportive, we're there for each other. So that is role play number 1. So you've got about 5 minutes to work out who you are in the relationship and do me an absolutely perfect role play of an ideal, gorgeous relationship. Okay? Thank you.
Your dad, your
Are you doing it again?
your fiance,
It's only role play, it's not real, just sort it out. What's that? My Marjorie Dawes, did you see that?
2 children still playing with that cushion.
Family.
Yeah, and he's the dad and he died and then we all support each other.
Absolutely you could.
And you pick.
Role plays work really well within RE and PSHE. It gives the children a chance to act things out that maybe they wouldn't experience in real life. And this class in particular are very lively and enjoy this kind of activity. So you should really hit the spot with this one, hopefully. We'll see the results now.
Tell me, what relationship? All right, thank you very much. If we could have silence, please. We could have silence. Thank you very much. Excellent. All right, so if we're going to get through it, we better move pretty sharpish because this is only round 1 of the role play. So here we are. We are the perfect family. You look at us, how we love each other, how we adore each other. Let's start with this couple over here. So you're walking down the street. Let's see it, everybody. Hi, Ruth. Hi. That's it? Yeah. I'm glad you're not my cousin. That's a bit feeble. Feeble. Okay, who's much more loving than that? More. Okay, these. I know you 2 are sisters, aren't you? Okay, let's see the sisters.
Snap! Rika! I've seen you in ages. Last week.
Just giving praise to them, which is good. Definitely need that.
We've been perfect, we've been ideal, we've been loving, supportive, sweet, unselfish. You go first. No, you go first. You have a bar of chocolate. No, you have a bar of chocolate. I adore you. I love you. Let's talk like grown-ups. What's it really like?
We do love each other, but sometimes there are fallouts and problems and we fight.
Who agrees with that? Who thinks that the people you love the most in the world, the ones you really care about more than anything, are the ones that you fight with more than anyone else in the world? Who thinks that? When it's somebody that you love more than anything and they're in your life all the time, it can be, what can it be? Think of some words that your mum, your dad, your sister, your brother, your mates can make you feel. Yes?
Frustrated.
Frustrated. Any other words? The people you love. I'm not talking about the people you hate. I'm talking about the people you love. Yes, Shanika, what about you?
Angry.
Angry, absolutely. What about you?
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed. What about you?
Weak.
Weak. Gosh, that's something else to feel in your own home, isn't it? Weak with your own family, and you feel like, gosh, they're strong. My parents are strong. They've got all the power. My older brother and sister, they're strong. They've got all the power.
Hopefully she might bring in another kind of activity soon, because a lot of question and answers can sometimes become a little bit repetitive, and also being the afternoon, they're quite tired, so they will need something else to do very shortly.
The reason why I want to talk about this is we know that we're supposed to feel a certain way about the people that we love, right? But at the same time, shameful feelings, we all feel them the whole time. We're not meant to feel that we're really frustrated by our brothers or our sisters or our mothers. Guys, we're not meant to feel absolutely boiling over with anger, are we, because of our best friends? Because that's not what we're supposed to be feeling over there, really, is it?
She's exploring their feelings, but I think she's doing it at quite a fast pace.
So I think for the next 5 minutes, in the same pairs that you were in before, let's do the same relationship that you were in before. So if you were sisters, you're still sisters, brothers, you're still brothers. But this time, instead of being perfect, let's be how you really feel when you're angry, frustrated, shameful, depressed, all that stuff with that person in your life. Because at least we can tell the truth about how we feel some of the time. It's worth it, isn't it? Okay, so let's do, you've got 5 minutes to work out a bit of role play in which you tell the truth.
Whatever.
Yeah, get over it.
You're frustrating me! You're annoying! You're just gonna do what you want to do. Because I'm older than you. Not fair. What I say goes.
Back to your chairs. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move fast. Chop, chop. Places to
So
do.
she's kind of shouting quite loudly, trying to get them all back to their chairs.
A quick round of applause, everybody. Really, really good. Thank you very much.
Here's the crux of the whole thing, all right? Families are never mummy, daddy, two perfect little beautiful children all holding hands, smiling and skipping through the daisies. Ever. Even if it looks like it on the telly, they never are. Even if it looks like it's in a magazine. And even if your mum and dad tell you it should be like that. It never is, not for anyone, any of the time. If we realise that that is true, and do we? Yes or no? Yes. Hands up if we do. We know that it's never going to be gorgeous and perfect, and not even with the people you love most in the whole world. If we can get that into our heads, if we can get that into our hearts, then maybe we can be a bit more realistic about what to expect from relationships with other people. Worth knowing that? Yes. Have you enjoyed the lesson? Yes. I've really, really enjoyed being here. Thank you so much for having me. It's been brilliant. Really brilliant. I'll give Richard and Judy your love. Big kiss. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye.
But Richard and Judy will have to wait as the novice teacher goes next door to hear the assessment of Miss Wooldridge.
Hi.
Hi. What did you think? I mean, I thought they were delightful children.
You looked confident. Did you feel confident?
Yeah, I felt fab. I mean, I felt that they were so receptive and bright, and you said they were very bright kids.
Yeah, very bright. But there were a couple of things you could have done. The seating arrangement, they were in groups towards two different boards. Obviously, you were in the corner of the room. Sometimes the children weren't actually looking towards you, so maybe getting all the children, because you stayed in the corner of the room, getting all the children to turn their chairs around at the beginning of the lesson and make sure they were focused on you from the beginning. That would have ensured they were all looking at all time. Also, we often have learning objectives on the board. Some kind of learning objective on the board so that they always know why they're doing the lesson and what they're going to learn from it.
Like, you see, I didn't want to give them the punchline at the beginning. It's all about comic timing. I was waiting for the end. So I didn't want to say, we're here to find out whatever it is. I wanted to work gradually through and get to the end.
The only thing was a few of them weren't always paying attention. The cushion, two of the boys are still playing with the cushion. And that distracted them sometimes during the role play and things.
Yes.
One of the boys was more interested in hugging that cushion.
Yes, I
than
saw,
he was
I saw him
kind of,
hugging it, but I sort of thought he was hugging it while thinking. So I thought maybe it was, no.
At the end, the plenary, the conclusion of the lesson, needs to be a little bit shorter and just summing up and asking them, so what have you found out? Tell me something that you've learnt from the lesson, or tell me something you now understand from this lesson. So do you think my class have turned you then from being a presenter into maybe a teacher?
I wouldn't
Possibly.
mind. I've always had leanings in that direction, and certainly, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The only question is, have I got anything else to communicate? That's really all I really think. I don't know anything else. That's the problem. The limitations of my own education, nothing else.
Oh no, I think you did really well.
Thank you very
and
much.
I think they really enjoyed it as well.
I enjoyed
so thank
it very
you.
much. Thank you. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
After some quite positive feedback from the professional, it was time to hear the opinion of the other participants.
She's alright,
Why do you think that?
because it's her first lesson, so you can't exactly say that she's the best teacher in the world.
True, but she wasn't boring.
Well, she's better than all teachers.
I think she could become a better teacher by letting us all have our full opinions, and everyone get a turn instead of rushing and getting half her opinion of half the people.
They all twigged exactly what I was on about instantly. I feel sure all of them could have given the class probably far better than I could have given it, but they were with me every step of the way, so I was very lucky. I mean, had they been subversive and difficult and mutinous, I have no idea what I would have done except probably burst into tears. I've learned that it's a hell of a difficult job to do, but actually enormously rewarding and very good fun.